Okay, as you can see, I have the overflow off. See if I can give a better view of my overall design here. 1.5 PVC. And standard DIY design here. Up and over. Comes down, tees into my drain here. Goes over, and due to my height of my stand compared to the height of my wet dry, I had to use a couple elbows and actually go back up a small amount, put my tee in, and then drop back down into the wet dry, which actually only needs to be to here when it's actually into the wet dry, but I added this elbow here to help quiet the system, as it sounded like a raging waterfall just coming out of this elbow or just out of this pipe itself. As you can see, I've already added a piece of the silicone tape here previously. I'm going to tape up this, and this joint here, this joint here. These ones I am simply doing out of guaranteeing there's no possible way they are a air introduction point. Even though if any air did get in the system here, it should get trapped either here, where it wouldn't matter much because it will be able to exit as the water pulls it down, or if it comes in here, the water is still traveling this direction, so it should get pulled this direction. I'm more thinking that the possible entry point is either this seam here or this seam here, which if you look closely here, you can see I've actually already tried to silicone these joints to see if I could find the entry point for the air. It worked not at all. Every once in a while you could still hear the gurgle of an air bubble getting sucked in and making its way up this tube here and getting stuck in the elbow. Between taping these off and the aqualifter pump, I am 99% guaranteed to have no air stuck in the system. The only worry I have is, you can sort of see I have a Tupperware lid down there. I was using that for a drip tray because as water was getting into this portion, obviously if air is getting in, water has to be getting out at the same place. So I had to have a drip tray down there to catch, but I couldn't catch enough to actually see where it was dripping from. So I'll be using the silicone tape to simply seal every joint up until this one here, which is actually just at or a little below the water level, and I don't want any possible chemical residue that may be on the silicone tape getting into the water, just because I don't know if there is any. I don't think there is. It's a simple silicone tape, but I just for my own sanity don't want to risk it. I have to clip that zip tie and clean that off yet. To give you an idea how I prevent most things getting sucked in here that would clog the system, I took a cap, I drilled 5/16 holes all the way around with a 7/16 directly in the middle. On this side, I have noticed that when I put the shrimp in to feed the eel, who still loves to hide down there, that Occasionally some of the shrimp will try to stay towards the surface, end up getting sucked in, and I pull them back out of the pre-filter, throw them back in the tank. It's my DIY CO2 down there. It's currently not hooked up. Need to pick up some more sugar so I can make a new batch. Looking at a gonna price out a 2-pound cylinder of CO2 and maybe go pressurized, but I gotta price all that and see what I can do first. But as for sealing this, I'll give you a demonstration of how, where did I set it? There it is. Now this silicone tape comes with a piece of cellophane between each layer here. That is because when the silicone touches itself, it instantly starts to bond to itself and starts to shrink. It's supposed to get about a 3% shrinkage to make sure that your overlap is airtight, watertight. It can be applied wet or dry, and it will only stick to itself, so you never have any residue left behind if you want to remove it. After about 48 hours, it actually becomes one solid piece of silicone. But let's see if I can find somewhere to set the camera here and give you guys a view of how it works.